Well, fellas, I always like to turn you on to new music. If this is one with which you are not familiar, I urge you to check out 1967's Miles Davis Sorcerer. This is one of the great ones with Wayne Shorter on sax, Ron Carter on bass, and the great Tony Williams on drums. It's a fantastic recording and just beautiful, beautiful music. But today, we're just going to clean a record. It's what we do here. But we thought this episode might be focused on those of you that just buy new vinyl. If you're not into digging through the used record bins, hitting the garage and yard sales to see what you can find, you still have to clean the record. So we're going to talk a little bit about best practices for cleaning new vinyl. This particular pressing is from a company called Music on Vinyl. They call themselves an audiophile audiophile company. We'll let our ears decide if that's the case. But one of the things you will see as we show you what's in the groove before the cleaning process and what's on the surface, it will be dirty. So it definitely does need a cleaning process. Let's take a closer look, shall we? This is a sealed record. First time we're seeing it. I think this is a relatively recent reissue. Oh, look at this. We have colored vinyl. Green's kind of pretty. It's almost transparent. If you want to have an argument as to whether or not colored vinyl sounds better or worse than black vinyl, we can have that discussion, but the answer is no difference whatsoever. Makes no difference. But this one is dirty. I can see surface dirt already. It's definitely going to need to be cleaned, so let's get to it. Let's clean this record. I suppose the first question we should ask is, should you even bother cleaning new vinyl coming straight from the record sealed? I think the answer is yes. Certainly, as you use new vinyl, it's going to become older vinyl, and as you take it out and put it back into the sleeve, it's going to pick up debris in the air and other things, particularly from static in the air. It happens a lot in the wintertime. So eventually you're going to have to clean it, but I think you should clean it coming straight out of the packaging. If for no other reason, these factories are not all that clean. Some are better than others. Chad Kassem's UHQR pressings are about as clean as you get, but even they have mold release agents on the vinyl. Now, that's a tough thing to get off, so we're really only talking about surface cleaning here. But unless you're buying nothing but UHQRs, you're going to get dirt in that vinyl. As you'll see on this pressing, there is surface debris and other debris deep into the groove, so it does need cleaned. In fact, recently we picked up a Deutsche Grammophon pressing, a Hilary Hahn recording. Lovely music, but the record was incredibly dirty. In fact, it was damaged and ultimately had to send it back, but couldn't believe how filthy that pressing was. Probably the dirtiest I've ever seen, but we've seen everything in between, and you do want to clean it when it comes out. So, what kind of process is best for someone that focuses on new records? If you're on a budget, you're going to be limited to something manual like a spin clean or a disc doctor. I would probably go with the disc doctor. You could consider a suction type machine. We have the VPI. But frankly, I think that's better suited for pre-cleaning very dirty records. You could go with a string type machine. They tend to be expensive. They look very cool. They have a unique process. That would certainly work. But I think our recommendation would be for an ultrasonic type machine. We have the KL Audio. That's what we'll use to clean the Miles Davis. And it's a great way. It's really an easy type machine to use. You can set it and forget it. Put it in there. It'll run through the process. It'll dry it and wait for you to pick it up at your convenience. Do note, though, and I hope you'll subscribe for this one, we've recently acquired the Kermis machine. It is an ultrasonic machine that will do, I suspect, a very similar job, we'll see, with regard to surface cleaning records, but it also has a more in-depth process for actually restoring the vinyl, getting off that film that may remain from previous cleaning processes, or even the mold release agents that they use to get the vinyl out of the stampers. So stay tuned for that one. In the meantime, though, let's get to cleaning this record. So one typical practice before inserting the vinyl into an ultrasonic cleaning machine is to give it a brush with a dry brush, or something like the Giotto Blaster. I know that the Kermis machine prefers a dry brush, so we're going to test that out once we receive it. But thus far, we've always relied on the Giotto Blaster to just get off the large pieces of debris before it goes into the machine. So let's do that first. Okay, Audio. I think a good starter is 4 minutes of ultrasonic, 4 minutes of drying. So let's go with that. Go give this a listen. Okay, final thoughts and for the record. First of all, musically speaking, you have to own this record. No excuses, no arguments. Go buy it right now. It's that good. Secondly, with regard to this particular reissue, I'm impressed with Music on Vinyl. This is the first time I've acquired one of their reissues. And while I don't know if they sourced the original master tapes, if this was from a secondary tape, if there was a digital transfer, but I do know it sounded fantastic. Really nice, very full, well balanced. So kudos to Music on Vinyl. If any of our listeners have this particular reissue and have compared it with an original pressing or an alternative audiophile reissue, we'd love to hear your thoughts below. As far as the cleaning process is concerned, you'll see with the before and after pictures that our process was effective, and I do recommend an ultrasonic machine for those of you who tend to focus on new records. Fantastic stuff, sounded great. On to the next record.